What up, what up? Welcome to Mr. Brown's class where there's no whining and no complaining. Alright, today we're moving on to finding slope using the slope formula. So we've talked about slope by looking at a graph and counting boxes, right? And rise over run. Remember that slope, okay, is rise, okay, over run. Now, rise is up and down, right, which is the change in y's, okay? Run is side to side, which is the change in x's. So, we have this formula, right, that makes it a lot easier than counting the boxes because that gets kind of tedious, right? So as you go on in math, you're going to use this a lot more than obviously counting boxes. And they're going to give you coordinates instead of a graph, right, to figure out formulas. So this is very important to understand this formula, which it's not very difficult. So let's do some examples, right? So if we have the coordinates 2, 4, and we have 6, 6, okay, we can figure out the slope without graphing this. Right, so we take the y's. Now it says that this means the second y. It's not y squared. All right, this is the second y, which here's y and here's y. Okay, but it doesn't really matter which order we go in. And I'll show you that here in a second. But let's, in this case, to stay positive, let's do the second y. All right, because I do 6 minus 4. All right, and then I have the second x minus the first x. And I gotta, whatever I do, I have to do it in the same order. Okay, so since I did the second one minus the first one of y's, I have to do the second x minus the first. All right, so 6 minus 2, right, which ends up being 2 over 4, which ends up being 1/2. So our slope is going to be 1/2. Now, I could have done, okay, 4 minus 6, so the first y, right, over the first x minus the second x. That would be -2 over -4. Now, if they're both negative, then that means that it's a positive, right? So it ends up being the same no matter what. But you have to go in the same order for both of them. All right, so let's look at another one. All right, -4, 4, right, and 4, -2. All right, so y is going top, y minus y. All right, so let's this time just do the first one. First y minus the second y, so minus a negative, all right? And then we have the first x minus the second x. Now we know that when we are subtracting, we're adding the opposite. So this ends up being 6, and then again, since we're subtracting, we're adding a negative. So this ends up being -8. And so if one of them's negative, the whole thing's negative, right? So this would be -3/4. The whole thing's negative, right? If one's negative, now if both are negative, it's positive. But if one of them's negative, the answer's negative. So it's -3/4. All right, now this one, I want you to pause it after I write them down and see if you can get the answer to this one. So 0, -5, all right, and 5, 10. All right, pause it and see if you can get the answer. All right, so we're gonna, I still like doing the first minus the second. So -5 minus 10. And 0 minus 5. All right, now, again, we want to change it to adding the opposite. So that's going to be negative 15. Okay, and then 0 minus 5 is going to be negative 5. Now again, they're both negative, and this reduces down to a positive 3. Right, so your slope is 3. It's 3 over 1, so if we were graphing, we would go up 3 over 1. All right, but we just have to write 3. Okay, let me give you one more. Negative 6, 5, 3, negative 13. All right, again, pause it. Okay, so 5 minus a negative 13 over negative 6 minus 3. Again, we change all subtraction to adding an opposite. So this is 5 plus 13, which is 18. And this is negative 6 plus a negative 3, which is going to be negative 9. All right, and again, this is going to reduce down to negative 2. That's your slope. So it's going to be going down instead of up here. Okay, so let's say they give you a graph, right, and they give you the coordinates. All right. Now, I'd much rather, instead of counting, I'd much rather just use the formula. All right, so I'm going to do, and it doesn't matter, again, which one's the first one and which one's the second one, right? I usually go left to right. So 7 minus a negative 3 over, right, negative 2, right, minus 3, right? Now, add a positive, so this is 10, right? Add a negative, so this is negative 5, right? And so our slope is going to be negative 2, right? And we would see that we go down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, all right? So it works out, right? So that's your slope for that one, okay? And it's negative, all right? Now, we have some other ones. So remember that if we have, let's say that we have, a horizontal line, okay? And we have, let's say this is, what is this? Negative 5, 3. All right, and let's do, 3, 3. All right, and then let's figure out this one. Okay, so we have 3 minus 3, right? So 3 minus 3, and then negative 5 minus 3. Now this top is 0. And the bottom is going to be adding a negative 8, right? And our answer is 0, right? So our slope for this, remember, horizontal lines are 0, all right? Now, if we have a line like this, right? And let's say that we have right here, this is 2, 4, right? And down here we have, let's do 2, negative 4. All right, so we're going to take the y's minus the y's, so 4 minus a negative 4 over 2 minus 2. Right? Remember, this is adding a positive, so this is 8 over 0. Right? Now, this is no solution, undefined. Okay? Remember, vertical lines, remember, anytime you divide something by 0, you're going to get an error on your calculator. Okay, so if it's a vertical line, it's undefined. Alright, if you like this video, make sure that you subscribe and like below, and remember to be more awesome.